bedroom. I am so excited to announce it's finally here! Video number 2. The much anticipated makeup tutorial. I'm finally ready to share with you guys some of my best kept secrets about my beauty routine and how I get ready. So my hair is done, I've got my cozy robe on, and a fresh face, so all that's left is a little makeup. Okay, so my first step when getting ready in the morning is always to moisturize. My skin is naturally really dry, so I always take a lot of steps to make sure it doesn't look flaky or dry, especially after putting powder or any sort of like liquid foundation or makeup on. I have found a lotion that is amazing, and I get it off Amazon. I encourage all of you guys to try it. I think it's one of my best kept secrets. So it's called Glowbiotics MD, and then it's the Gentle Probiotic Calming Lotion. I put a little squirt of this on every morning to my face and my neck, and I swear it makes all the difference in the world. Alright, rubbed in. Step 2. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Mario Badescu. Is that how you say it? I literally have no idea. I have so many of his products and I couldn't tell you how the heck to say his name. But this facial spray has aloe, rose water, and basically, again, is something that's really calming to your skin and helps prime it. I always really overdo it with the rose water. Last year for Christmas, I got a variety pack of different sizes of this from my mom, and I've already gone through all of them but this big one. So there you go. Next thing I do is my eyebrows. It always, believe it or not, takes me the longest to do my eyebrows, and I guess maybe that's why so many people ask me how I do it and if I get my eyebrows done, because I care a lot about it. Kind of one of my secrets to how they grow so thick is I just tweeze them, and that's about it. So there's 2 items that are super important for me when I do my eyebrows. So I use Anastasia's Dip Brow Pomade in the color Soft Brown. And then I also use one of their duo brushes. It's got a little angled brush on one side and then another kind of like comb on the other to kind of get your brows in place. My first step, take the brush, dip it in the pomade, and lots of times I get the excess off on the side. The first thing I do is go under my brow and kind of just get a straight line going. And then I brush up to fill in. I want to make sure you guys can see this okay. Alright, so once I get the bottom done, I'll go for the top. And I want to make sure I do not come all the way to the end. I think it creates like a really harsh line and looks so fake. So I usually start like about an inch in. And I fill it all the way to the end, trying to make it kind of a crisp line at the top. Pretty crisp all the way around. And if I ever feel like there's some parts, maybe at the bottom especially, that don't look super clean, I will use a Neutrogena makeup wipe and kind of clean it up. So once I go in and kind of fill all of this part, I'll use the excess on the brush to blend a little bit of the front of the brow. And then lots of times I'll get this little line here and I just either use a makeup wipe or my finger to get rid of it. And then a lot of it is all just brushing. So if it looks like it's too much of a fade, you could just keep kind of filling in. Now on to the next and go to work. Clean it up a little, and ta-da! There you have it. But I have one more step to truly perfect the shape of the brow. And once again, I use another Anastasia product. It is the concealer, in the shade 1. Along with the concealer, you're going to need a small brush, kind of like this, that you're going to be able to go under your brow and in the middle to kind of clean up the lines. And again, same thing on the other side. Next, I go in the middle. Sometimes it gets a little messy as I'm trying to blend, so I want to make sure the lines are neat. Now, I just use my finger to dab and blend. And then sometimes, once you're done blending, you'll get a little bit of concealer on the brows. So just make sure to kind of brush through them, get that concealer off, and there you go. The longest, most grueling step is done. Alright, usually next I move to my eyes because I hate having any makeup fall on my skin. If I already have my foundation on, I don't want eyeshadow, mascara, whatever running down. I want my skin to be clean when that goes on. I actually have lash extensions. I swear by them. They save me so much time because I don't really have to put on mascara ever or eyeliner. So if you guys are debating trying them, or if you've never even considered them, please, I'm telling you, it's worth a shot. I feel like every morning it's so easy getting ready because I feel like I don't really have to put on much makeup because I already have kind of my eyes and everything bright and open and got a little shadow going on. So the next steps are pretty simple. For eyeshadow, this is one of my favorite tricks I actually use, is using my bronzer. So I use Cover FX. The shade is Sunset. And as a person who has super sensitive skin that can get breakouts so easily from different things I put on my face, I have tried everything and I swear by this brand, I never break out. My skin does so well with this. So when I am applying my bronzer as my eyeshadow, I want a fluffy eyeshadow brush kind of like this that's going to be able to disperse it without making it like too compact. So just dab a little bit. And it gives you such a nice little shadow without being too much, just some pigment. Voila. Finally, my last step for my eyes is, so I use a little eyeshadow as kind of like a liner. I don't like to use any like dark black harsh colors, but I use this, I don't really know where I got this. It was in like a Clinique gift. But really, like any brown color will do. This one is called Jute Brown. I don't know, from Clinique. This little guy is my lifesaver, the little eyeshadow applicator. And all I do is rub it in the brown. Make sure you got enough color on there. And along my lash line, I blend like that. Making sure it's not too harsh of a line, looks nice and blended. And then at the end, I carry it out kind of like a cat eye. And I know that looks insane right now, but I clean it up and I tell you, I get all of these compliments on how the heck I do my eyeshadow and why it fades. And so, do this trick, it's worth it. I use my Neutrogena makeup wipes, Lifesavers, and I just kind of like wrap it around my finger. And what I do is just kind of clean up the line so it looks like a perfect cat eye. And then repeat it on the other side. And what do you know? My eyes are done. Next, I make sure that my skin is clean. I use a makeup wipe, clean it up a little, and And now onto the face makeup. You already know what we're gonna do next. Gotta spritz that face, girl. Oh yes. It's really overused, this rose water. Amazing. Oh my god, it kinda tastes good. Wait, I don't usually talk when I spray this. That was weird. So another thing I do that I think people would be a little surprised about is I actually don't wear foundation. I used to be obsessed with foundation. I would try and cake it on, make sure my face had no imperfections, but I've come to find that your face actually looks a lot more perfect when you look like there's nothing on, or you hardly have anything on. That's kind of the best trick. You want to be a natural beauty, my loves. So, what I use, this little concealer from Clinique. Once again, a brand that I trust my skin with. I've broken out so much from brands like Bobbi Brown and MAC. I mean, they have amazing makeup, but when it comes to sensitive skin, it just doesn't work. So this is the Airbrush Concealer in a number 7. The color is Light Honey. So what I do is you crank the bottom to get the concealer to come out. And all I do is brush a little bit on around my face, a little bit on the top. I know this looks so weird, but literally I just did 2 turns and that's all for the amount of makeup that I want covering my entire face. And then with my fingers, make sure your hands are clean first, of course, and rub. Alright, so as you can see, my face really doesn't look that different. If anything, it's just kind of a more even tone. I love this stuff. It actually does a great job covering if there's a little redness or anything without looking super thick or super heavy. It's awesome. Alright, so the next thing I do is some concealer under the eyes. And this is by far one of my favorite makeup products out of all of them that I use on my face. I think this is one that every girl should have in her makeup bag. So I use Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer, and this is the color Light Medium. I love this one because I think it's a little more yellow, which I think looks good under the eyes. You don't want to look like ghostly, and also this has some hella coverage. If you want that look of the white under your eyes, heavy contour, oh my god, one drop of this goes such a long way. I get scared, I put like tiny little dabs because it just becomes way too much. I go under my eyes, and then down my nose a little to get that like triangle. And the same on the other side. Just little dabs, go all the way to the end. And then sometimes if I want to have a more aggressive contour going on, I'll do my chin and my forehead. Now for blending. Of course, gotta have a beauty blender. You know what to do. Blend, just dab. Make sure that you don't go over your eyeshadow line. And the way that it fades, that took some hard work, and you need to show people that you did that, so. And voila! If you want to go full contour, I would go down the nose, and then even sometimes like right above the lip, you can do like a little lighter there too. Make sure it's all blended in, and you're done. Okay, after I do that, I go on to the heavy brown contour. I use Clinique Chubby Stick, their sculpting contour. So this is the color Curvy Contour, it's one. This is one of the best contour products out there because it's so easy. It's just like this big fat stick you can like apply, and it's the best. Okay, so I also don't like to overdo it with this either. I just want it in a few specific spots, so I'll show you where I put it. Always gotta do the cheekbones, both sides, and just kind of put them exactly where your cheekbones are, maybe a little higher, but I just try and kind of emphasize what's already there. And then I do my forehead, so I just kind of go around. You can make cute little pictures, zigzags, I don't care. Oh my god, I didn't say use the fat part of your beauty blender for the brown and the little part for under your eyes for the light. So make sure to blend this into your hairline. You don't want little brown chunks. And then each side, just gonna dab it. And again, the same thing on the other side. Contouring, almost complete. I always do actually my liquid makeup before I put on my powder makeup. If you put liquid on after powder, it's just a recipe for disaster. So once I have all of my liquid makeup on, then I move to my powders. Guess what I do before I put on my powder? Mario. Let's spray, ladies. Okay, so we're moisturized, our liquid makeup is set, and we are moving on to our powders. The highlighter I use is Salted Caramel by Kylie Cosmetics. This is one of my favorite colors I have ever found when it comes to highlighters. If you think you like it, give it a try. I love it. As for a brush, I have a specific highlighter brush. It's from Tarte. On this side it's angled, and then this side it's kind of a small little brush for like under your brows or the corner of your eye, which I love that. So you brush a little bit. You want to dab it off, make sure there's not too much on there, too much excess, and you go right on the top of the cheekbone. And then do it again on the other side. And don't be afraid of highlighter. Highlighter is, I swear, my best friend. I love it, especially in the summer. In the fall, maybe take it a little easy. You're not supposed to be glowing and sun-kissed, but, you know, to each their own. Then I go a little on my chin, a little on my nose, and even a little bit on my forehead. I told you, I put it all over the place. And then with the smaller end, go under your brows, kind of emphasize that clean line. And in the corner of your eye too. The last place you can put highlighter if you are feeling a little extra, you want to be a little glowy, is right above your lip. Right there. Oh, yes, you see that? You see that shimmery shine? Okay, now that we've got our highlighter on, next is the bronzer. As I've told you guys before, Cover FX Sunset, the best bronzer ever, is what I use. And then I use this as my bronzer brush. I got it from Sephora. It's just like an angled brush. I'm a big fan of angled brushes when it comes to face makeup. I feel like I have more control over it. So, dab it on there. And I kind of go over the parts that I already contoured. It just blends it in, makes it look a little more natural. So. And then I'll get a little more on there and do it again on the other side. And then usually once I'm done doing that, I will blend my neck a little. Gotta get under the chin. Don't put too much on, just enough on so you can blend kind of all the way around. Make sure your skin looks like it's not a completely different color than your face. That's the bronzer. One of the last items on our agenda is blush. I use a Tarte blush. I seem to do pretty well with Tarte products too when it comes to my skin being really sensitive, breaking out. I've never had any problems with Tarte, so another brand I would highly recommend. So the color I use is called Dazzled. Yeah, Dazzled. And one thing I love about this is that it actually looks like a little darker. Like it looks a little more like purpley than I would typically want my blush to be. I like it when it's kind of like a light, soft pink. but I think this kind of looks different on everyone's skin color. My mom wears it too and it looks totally different on her, but we both are obsessed with it. So this is a product I would highly recommend. I've used this for years and I'm never gonna stop. Along with my blush, I use a different, smaller angled brush. I don't know what I just do. Dab, dab, dab. And you gotta smile when you put on blush because it needs to be on the apple of your cheek. So here goes looking like a weirdo. And it's beautiful. It's a perfect trick. Okay, and one of our very few final steps. I'm sure you've all heard of this. Laura Mercier setting powder. This is the color Translucent, and like every celebrity uses this, and my mom uses this, and I use this, and why wouldn't you use this? All you do is you take a really big brush, like a powder brush, like this. Not angled, that's right, just a big powder brush. And you want to dab just a tiny bit on. And get off all that excess. Holy crap, did you see that? That was so much. But you want to put this on if you want to reduce shine. In the summer, I actually don't recommend using this. As amazing as it is, you need to look dewy and glowy and hydrated in the summer. But in the winter, sometimes I feel like if I look too dewy, it's just weird. So just gonna brush it all over. The last element of my fall routine and my favorite item I have for you is this lipstick from Rihanna's Fenty line. It is called Freckle Fiesta. Yeah, Freckle Fiesta. And it is one of the most beautiful fall colors for lipstick I have ever seen. And especially with kind of like the browns going on in my eyes and the rosy cheeks, I think this just looks like perfect as the final setting element of my makeup look. So just put this on, like any other lipstick. I don't know why sometimes it's so hard. Probably because I'm freaking talking, but you know, whatever. That is the final element to my fall makeup look. Well, who am I kidding? We're gonna set this makeup, guys, right? Alright, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and comment below what you want to see next week. I have a few things up my sleeve. I'm thinking maybe either some holiday decorating or maybe even some holiday cocktails. Whatever you guys want, let me know. Alright, I'll see you guys soon. If you wanna come to my